celebration, 100 episodes, which is absolutely amazing. And we have had anything from technical difficulties to you name it, and that is what live show is all about. So I am your host, Dorothy Odell, for those of you that don't know me. And actually, I am going to bring on the amazing co-host. Because our guest is having a little bit of difficulties getting on. So I wasn't sure what to do, but here we are, Kimberly. 100 episodes. Can you believe it?
No. I mean, of course I can. I know who you are. I know how amazing you are. I know, just like you're unstoppable. That is the name of your show. It's the name of your books.
It's the name of everything that we own.
I'm not surprised we're here. And I would say I'm just surprised at how fast it came and how easily it came and how much fun it's been. And look at there is your guest. So
oh my gosh. I'm going to give him a second to get a breath here because I know, poor guy. So yeah, we are super excited and blessed, to have the amazing Toby Christensen on the show tonight, and there it's coming. Okay. Sorry. My computer is so slow tonight and I'm not sure why. Toby, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Maybe that's just Holy Spirit, Dorothy, telling you to just slow down and really enjoy your 100th episode.
That could be.
Just
that could be.
Breathe and allow. Breathe and allow.
Breathe and allow. That's right. All right. So we're going to put Kimberly back in the green room because she comes on at the end of the show. By the way, Toby, this is the amazing Kimberly Genovese. My partner here, my partner in crime and all that we do. So I wanted to introduce you and then I'll put her back in the green room and look at that room he's got there.
It's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
This is where we made your song.
Woohoo! Yes. So now that you leaked it, first of all, before we go into my song, Toby, for those people that are just joining us, can you tell everybody what Hear the Hope is all about and what it is that you do?
Okay, so Hear the Hope, an organization that we founded about 6 years ago that makes music dreams come true. For people who have had adversity, we take their times of adversity and create songs of hope through the lessons learned or through the opportunities. We started off with Children's Hospital. And one of my best friends that I play music with had a Down syndrome son. And he got some help from Children's Hospital on the hospital bills. And we're like, well, how can we help the charitable fund? And how can we give back? And we were going to just do a CD and send it to them and say, hey, go sell this to your people. And then it started growing into one thing to another. And then pretty soon we had one of the doctors call us and say, hey, I hear you're doing songs for kids. I haven't played guitar since medical school and I love music. And I have this kid that loves music, one of my patients. And so we did a song with them, and then one thing led to another. And now 6 years later, we've done a bunch of projects. What we did this year for 2023, because COVID really put the kibosh on working with kids. We couldn't go to the hospital. We couldn't go into anybody that was compromised health-wise, which is everybody we work with. So we started doing some things with veterans. I started working with Janelle Royster, who has developed an amazing protocol for post-traumatic stress. And we're like, hey, I know some people that have some really cool stories and that have wonderful endings. Let's make songs from them. And so we started Hear the Hope Heroes, which is for veterans and first responders. And we do the same thing. We take stories of adversity and we make songs of hope from them.
Right. I absolutely love that. And that is actually how Toby and I met through Dr. Janelle Royster. So shout out to Dr. J. And I'm sure she'll be here throughout the episode for sure. She is an amazing lady. And I just love what she's doing with all, helping our veterans and first responders. and healing their trauma. So I said to Toby, Toby, I love what you're doing. I need you on the show. And since I'm a veteran ally, I'm like, hey, what if I write a song? And I was just being me, being a smartass that I am. And Toby comes like, yeah, let's do it. Like, let's do it. And I was just like, and then I'm like, my jaw drops and I'm like, oh, now I have to actually do it. So our theme tonight, I kept telling people that there's a huge announcement today. So Toby was gracious enough to allow me to write the song, and then him and his amazing team put it together. Did what they had to do to make it flow amazing, sound great. And so I'm just going to see if this is going to work, to see if I can get your website up here. I'm going to give up that sometimes this doesn't work, and it's going to work perfectly. I'm going to try and share my screen here. Just give me a second. With the storm that we're in, it is very slow for some reason. So Toby, what has been your favorite song that you've had?
Oh, I think it's not necessarily my favorite song, but it was my favorite experience.
Yes.
A doctor come in with a kid with a condition that's like this long, and I have no idea how to pronounce it, but it boils down to EB. And it's basically a condition where your skin doesn't have the proteins to hold the layers of skin together. And so this little kid had to be bathed and wrapped from head to toe in gauze every 2 days. And wow. What happens is the fingers grows over the fingers, and they end up with these little stub hands. Well, what Dr. Cornwall does is he does an operation that frees up the thumb, and he said there's an amazing amount of dexterity, when you have your thumbs free. So he does his surgery. He brought a kid over who had learned to play piano with his little stubs and his thumbs, and Dr. Cornwall played the ukulele, and then the little kid played keyboard. And then CJ played guitar and I played drums. And that was one of the coolest ones.
I love that. And, I love the fact, sorry guys, I am working on this. I'm working and trying to get this up. And for some reason it's not working as I had hoped, but we will get it. I love that. And you really truly give the hope back to these people. I mean, with the stories that I'd seen on your website, it's just incredible what you're doing. And so do you, now I'm not going to answer that question because that's putting you on the spot. I was going to say, do you like working better with the kids or the veterans? But that's a loaded question.
I like the veterans better because, and I pretty much run the Hero one. Just because, we get a little more gritty with the veterans. We might drop an F-bomb here or there, and we got to be really careful around the kids. And we did a song with a guy named Mike Murray from Liberty OVE. It's a veterans organization, and he did a song called Valhalla, and that was really cool. And then he sent me the lyrics to Something's Gotta Change, and so we did that. That was our song last month, and it was really fun. It's fun working with people who, a lot of the veterans that I work with are very different ideologically and politically than I. And so it's fun to find the common ground that doesn't matter who's president or who's in Congress or what policies or this or that, because there's so much stuff going on about all that these days. And I have a little sign on my studio that says no religion, no politics, only music. And we, that's the core of what it is. And so I think that I've had more challenges with veterans than I have with kids, and I enjoy that.
And you know, it is, veterans are amazing people, and so are kids, but yes, my heart is definitely with our veterans. Can everybody see the screen right now where it says heal the brokenhearted?
That's beautiful. Look at it.
Look at that. Okay, so I have put in the in the chat the link to this, but I definitely want you guys to go and see all this. And so Heal the Brokenhearted was a story I wrote, you know, about my life journey and the struggles, being bullied as a child, extreme low self-esteem, abusive relationships, and then, of course, the day my uncle took his life. And through all that, after all that, my dad passing away, and like I said, really connecting with veterans. So I'm going to play this and let me know if you guys can hear it.
I cannot hear it.
Jessica said she can't hear it. I did play it. I'm going to stop sharing because this is, for whatever reason, is not working. But to hear it, go to right here. I got the link. It's just coming up. Sorry, guys. There's so many technical difficulties tonight. It's not even funny. I'm trying to bring it up on the screen, folks. I really am. Oh, I love it. I have to laugh because this is just amazing. So it is heartheheroes.org/featured song is
the Hope Heroes.
Hear the Hope. Okay. Hear the, yeah. And sorry, there we go. It's finally coming up on the screen. So go to, like Toby said, hearthehopeheroes.org featured song. You will see everything that's up there about the song. And then to hear the entire song, you have to make the donation. So, and that, and every, which is great. And I love that because, you know, I'm all about donating and giving back to the veterans and giving back to the community. So 100% of that money goes back into that. So, Toby, tell us a little bit about where that money goes to when people donate.
So depending on who we're working with, for example, when we work with Dr. Royster, Dr. J, and or one of the groups she brings to us, we take 50% of the money that's raised, and that goes directly for training people in the TRIP protocol. The other half goes to Hear the Hope and helps do things like outsource session players for certain songs that we need, pay for a someone's hotel to come in and work in the studio, things like that. And so it just, we split it 50-50 with whoever we're working with, so that we got to be sustainable to be able to bring people in, because not everybody is cool. Like Mike Murray, he's like, dude, I have a great job. I don't need your money. Use it for someone else. I'll use my own dime to take care of, you know, my hotel and stuff. And he drove from Virginia. I'm in Cincinnati, and he stayed for 2 days, and, you know, but not everybody can do that. So we want to be able to help people out.
Right. And I love that. So guys, you know, you're helping our heroes when you donate. So please go there right now, look it over, hear the song. I try to play it, but for some reason it's just not coming through. And you'll be able to get a sneak peek. And the chorus, I was in chills, but no one else could hear it but me, apparently. But make your donation so that you can hear the entire thing. And if my brother actually happened to tune in, or my mom that's watching, please know that this is for our entire family, the legacy that we leave behind, because, healing the brokenhearted, I truly believe, is what God has put me on this planet to do. Not only with people that have been through the same thing that we've been through, but, never giving up hope. And hope, if you have hope, you have breath and you have life, right? So I love that. And Toby, thank you so much for taking on this project with me, and allowing me to be part of this amazing journey.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for sharing your story. I could relate so much to that story from my own family, things that have gone on. And it was fun because we wanted, when CJ, my partner, and I, my writing partner, and I sat down to do the song, we had your story, but the stories don't always fit the cadence of a song. You have 30 syllables in one line and then 5 syllables in another, and it doesn't always work that well. And so CJ was insistent on using as many of your actual words as possible, because we wanted it to be really authentic. And some people will give us concepts, and then some people will give us, like what you did, this great story. Mm-hmm. So we started breaking it down, and we could not figure out a chorus because there weren't enough words. Like, we had words for the 3 verses, but where's the hook? And you got to have the hook. And then I'm like, so CJ said, I can't do this anymore. And he left, and he said, you figure it out. And so I'm going over and over and over. I had the chord progression down, and I really liked the chord progression. It had a lot of emotion in it, and it fit the words well. And then I'm like, oh my God, I didn't even think about what you titled the song, Heal the Brokenhearted. And there was the hook.
Yeah. I absolutely love it. And I just got to go to the comments for one quick minute, because we've been fiddling around with everything else. And of course, it's going to be, you know what, guys, I'm truly apologize, but I just want to say thank you to Deanne for being here, Carl for being here, Jessica. Jessica is one of my amazing people that, when my dad was first diagnosed with cancer, she has cancer as well. And she's the one that had helped me through a lot of my dad's first being in the cancer journey. So thank you, Jessica, for showing up. Appreciate you. And Inger, Vicky Parker. So thank you guys all for being here with us on our 100th episode. I'm just super excited because, to have Toby here, because Toby, like I said, what you do is absolutely amazing. And, I give people a platform to share their story, and you give people a platform to share their story through song. And I didn't realize how much music has been a part of my life, especially the last couple of years, with healing and with, being in touch not only with myself, but in touch with everything else. So how did you come about doing this for yourself? Were you always into music, or?
In music, I started playing drums when I was like 5 years old, started my professional career at 15, and was in bands. And then I actually was a Assemblies of God minister for 8 years, and had a Christian rock band back in the 70s. Half the churches wouldn't allow us to come in because we were playing the devil's music. And so that was in at the grassroots of that whole thing. And we toured through the United States and Canada. And when I got out of that realm, I just got into, secular music. Played clubs. Then I quit for a while. I went corporate. I decided I wanted to be rich and famous, and rock, and the music wasn't doing it. So I went corporate and almost killed myself, literally. Oh. And then got back into music. And music is the thing that I had my most successful time business-wise from the outside looking. The Beamers, the designer clothes, all that stuff. And then when I also fell in love with cocaine. And in my recovery process from cocaine addiction, I met a guy from West Africa, and it was like the thing that I've always been looking for. And one of his main things was healing through drumming and dance. And I remember being at this men's retreat that my therapist talked me into going to. And I'm like, I'm not going to go cry and show my feelings and all that stuff. I'm like, this is not me, dude, you know? And of course, this guy, his name is Malidoma Some. He passed away a couple of years ago. We were friends for 30 years from the day that I met him. It was like we were brothers. But the thing that he did, he pulled out this djembe drum. Now, I've always played the kit. As a matter of fact, right there is the kit that I have had since I was about 12 years old. But I kept I kept the same drum kit because I just loved it. But he played this hand drum called a djembe, and I'm like, oh my God, this is the coolest thing I've ever felt. You know, it wasn't just the rhythms that I heard, but it was what I felt. And somebody handed me a djembe, and I started playing along with him, and it just woke me up. And from that point on, that was back in about 1991. Then after a couple of trips to Burkina Faso to work with his village, I developed a system of sound therapy based on their tribal context. It's a 5-element context, very similar to Chinese medicine. And I just, one thing after another, and started making soundtracks for people. And I've worked with a ton of cancer patients who would get soundtracks when they were getting chemo.
Oh, wow.
So that they're only taking in, their body is it's waking up the intelligence of their body to only absorb what they need and not more than that. And I actually had one of the women that started with the soundtrack. Her hair started growing back during chemotherapy.
Wow.
My ordinary job was I owned a restaurant at the time, and I remember her coming in, taking off her hat, going, "This isn't supposed to happen."
I love it. Well, I should connect you and Jessica together because Jessica has an amazing story too, through her cancer journey as well. And I know I'm connected you with Kimberly. With hers, I'm not sure if you guys have had a chance to talk yet, but I mean, everybody has an amazing story, and I love that you put it through to music, and it's their words, you know, because we all go through our own pain, and you know, with the kids in the hospital and the veterans with their PTSD and things like that. Like we all go through something, and to be able to heal through music is absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, and the songwriting process, I think, is really healing. You know, like you sent me the words, then I created a type, like here's the music type of. Oh, and you gave me 3 songs that you like, because I always ask people, tell me what kind of music you like. These were like everywhere. We looked at them and like, oh right, Tom Petty and like none of these are even close to the same. And so like, what you going to do? So a lot of my music is ish, and so I kind of went with one of those style of chord progressions. But then when I sent it to you in that rough form, it's called a scratch track, where I just do an acoustic guitar, sing your words into it as clumsily as they are in that particular form, to get if I'm even on the right track. And when you wrote back, yeah, I love it, but this part is too busy. DJ had made a thing. And so that's the process where you get to take your story, and then you get to determine how it gets expressed. And I get the joy of working with you, and we things happen for me that heal me when I'm working on someone else's project. It's just glorious.
I love that. Yes. When you said, okay, name your 3 songs, I'm like, dude, I'm all over the map with my songs. Like you said, Free Fallin' by Tom Petty, Eye of the Tiger, and I forget what my third one was, but I know it was a different beat altogether.
Oh, yeah.
and I'm just like, he's gonna think that I am the weirdest cat out there, because I truly am eccentric and all over the place in life. Like, that is me. Like, I live from one extreme to the next, and all good. Like, it's all good. But it's somebody asked me for the longest time, what's your favorite singer? And I'm like, I don't know. I know the song. I don't know the singer half the time. But then I can go from, well, I used to be in country, no longer. Now I'm more like classic rock, or but you guys did an amazing job. You guys, when you hear it, I don't know, I get goosebumps or glory bumps up and down my entire spine, and maybe that's just because it's my story, but you guys did such an amazing job with that. And then you said, like, the chorus and all this, I'm like, I have never in my life written anything. And Dr. J was, I was talking to Dr. J as I was writing it, and you said write a poem first. So right. I wrote a poem, and I was like, I don't know. I didn't really like it. So then all of a sudden I prayed, and I just went, okay, God, if you really want me to do this, since I opened my big mouth, you got to give me the words. And so literally I prayed, and within 15 minutes or less, I had the entire song typed out on my phone, and I sent it to you guys that way.
That's great.
But I mean, it just goes to show, and so I was telling my mom, this whole story, and she goes like, wow, you really do everything. Like, seriously, wrote a book, now wrote a song, and collaborated with you guys. So thank you for making my dreams come true, one that I didn't even realize I had.
Oh, my pleasure. It was a lot of fun. We had a great time working with you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So, and what is the next biggest project that you guys have, or whom, how else can we support you and help you?
Well, just, if anybody's out there that's had times of adversity and a struggle and have a story that they want to tell, obviously we love the happy endings, but they're not always. We had one little kid that he had cancer since he was like 4 years old, and he was 8, and I believe he passed away like 4 months after he came in and did a song, and we brought him in the studio. And he was just like, I have guitars hanging all over the place and drums everywhere. And he was just like a kid in a candy shop, and he wanted to play every single instrument, and it was great. And we videoed all this, and his mom and dad had their phones going, and it was like the thing to remember him by.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'm glad you said that, because seriously, like, this my song since part of it is about my dad. It is a great way to remember him by. And I have, it's funny, every time I go on a road trip by myself, well, with my husband too, but I notice it more when I'm by myself, I always see like a hawk or an eagle flying above me the entire trip. And I just took a trip to Indiana this weekend, and I saw him, and the bird, and just said, hey, thank you. And so leaving the song is a legacy for him just as much as it is for me, and therapeutic, because it's when in that week that he was passing away, I said, we're going through this so that we can help somebody else out. I said that to my mom, and I said, I don't know how this is going to look, and I don't know anything. And so I think this form here is basically how it looks, because, sharing my story through the book was one thing, but sharing my story through the song is completely different, I think. But it again, you're reaching more people by different elements.
Yeah, the thing that I love about music too is, you've got 4 minutes. You can hopefully keep their attention, and you can tell the whole story of your book in 4 minutes, and then now how do I find out more? Then it's easier to it's easy to read the book when you already know kind of the story in music form, because there's so much emotion and passion that goes along with music that I don't get when I read. But when I'm inspired, like I'm a big documentary fan and I read all the books, Keith Richards and all the rock stars that have written books. I love hearing their stories because I know their music.
Yep. I absolutely love that. So do you have your song written?
My song, I have
Yeah.
a bunch of songs written. I'm just getting. A year ago, I was going to release my second album, and I can't find a cover image for it. And I'm like, screw it, I'm not even going to do it. And now I'm back to like, yeah, do it, and I need to figure out the cover, but I'll do it. Yeah. So
I
I
love that.
first song when I was 57 years old. I'd been in music my whole life and never written a song. And uh, I, it just, I'd been reading all these books and watching all these documentaries about these different songwriters. And they're like, Keith Richards is one of my favorites because he doesn't get into like, oh, you have to have this musical structure, blah, blah, blah. He's like, dude, the songs are out there. Just put up your antenna and see what comes in, and get your guitar and see where your fingers go. Just start playing something and see what comes. And then all of a sudden, so I'm out on a walk and I get this melody, and I'm like, well, what the heck is that? And then I for like 3 days, this melody went over and over and over and over again. And I'm like, oh, this is weird. So I grabbed my guitar and I figured out what chords went with that little riff. And then I got words for it. And then I'm like, oh my God. And then inspiration hit like a bolt of lightning, just like what happened with you and the song. I sat down and wrote the entire song in 15 minutes. And it was about my ex-wife. And here I've spent thousands of dollars on therapy to recover time. And I did way more in that one called I Don't Care. And it's a verse about me, what I have to say to her. And then when I used to live on Kauai part-time, and I was at this farmer's market, and I ran into this person who used to be my ex's best friend, and they had a big falling out. So there's a verse about that. And then there's a verse about my current state. And it was just hilarious. I'm going, dang, I could have saved myself about $5,000 because it was all right there. It felt so good to get out. And every time I sing it, it's just like, yeah.
I love that. So it is truly therapeutic too, like you said, and nothing against psychiatrists or things like that, because they do have a purpose and things like that. But write a song and we can connect you with Toby here and get your song out there, because it is truly therapeutic, like you said. So, and if you know of anybody, because I'm putting this out there for Toby, so that he could get his album out there. If you know of anybody who does album covers, connect with Toby, and let's make his dream come true. Because since you make my dream come true, let's make your dream come true.
That'd be good.
So if anybody knows anybody, let's connect, and we'll get them in touch with Toby, because that's what we do. We grant wishes here at Unstoppable Overcomers. And look at this. Jessica says she can do that.
Okay, we need to talk.
So she can write her song, and then she can help you with your cover album. I love that. And Vicky knows people. Vicky's awesome. Vicky knows everybody and anybody. And I want to say a huge shout out to Molly Clarkson. She's one of Dr. J's really good friends as well. And there's Greg's. Thank you, Greg. Has Greg done his song yet?
No, we need to do. He just went through a big move, so he's get in touch with me once he gets settled in. So we're gonna do a song together, and it'll be fun.
Oh, that's awesome. So yeah, we'll connect you and Jessica after, because she's truly amazing, and I'm sure she if she says she can do it, I know she can. Awesome. So yes, like I said, what else is it that you're looking for, Toby? Maybe we can help you. What's the next thing that you guys are going to be doing?
Let's see. Our next project with kids, we just made an arrangement with Ronald McDonald House.
Wow.
largest Ronald McDonald House in the country is here in Cincinnati. And we're doing I'm going in with CJ, and I are going in, and I'm taking a whole bunch of drums. I got a huge pile of drums over here. Just did one. And we do a drum circle there. And then we record the drum circle. And there's places that are chaotic, right? Where all the little kids are banging on stuff and it sounds terrible. But then there's this thing where it's called entrainment. And it's where people come together and the rhythm kind of invents itself. And all of a sudden we get, maybe 10 beats of really cool synchronized rhythm. We take that rhythm and we loop it. And then CJ and I lay rhythm, like we'll do rhythm guitar and he'll do a solo and we'll put a bass line and maybe a keyboard. And so we build a song from the rhythm that the kids do in the Ronald McDonald House in the drum circle.
That's awesome.
So that's that. And then I'm always looking for veterans, of course, because I'm just such a big supporter of Dr. J, and having had a battle with post-traumatic stress myself, I want to help. I want to help people who are in that particular genre of life, because I've in my own life I've experienced so much through music that has been so incredibly healing that sometimes talking about the thing for me is kind of mundane, but as soon as I start putting music to it, the emotion comes. And when we can stir things up, we can get a lot of that deep stuff that's hiding down below, that we wouldn't normally hit in our standard consciousness. Right. But something about, it's like when I did your chorus, the chord progression is just like it just pulls the emotion. I had to go through that thing, and I wasn't even doing the words. I was just doing the chords, and I couldn't stop crying. It was like, whoa, this is so powerful. And the chords it's a bizarre chord progression. When I played it for CJ, he looked at, he put the lead guitar and he like, what the hell did you do here? I'm like, listen to it. He said, I know it's really cool, but what a weird progression. You have minors with majors. You have, what the heck? But
and that represents me so well, Toby. Like, seriously.
That's perfect.
And when you said, okay, you just blessed me when you said that you cried, because seriously, the first time when you sent me the final thing, I sat there and I bawled like a baby. My husband's looking at me, he goes, what's your problem? I'm like, that song I told you about is done. And he still hasn't even listened to it. I can't get him to listen to it. So thank you for saying that, because seriously, I bawled like a baby when you sent me the final cut.
Yeah, I'm really happy.
Yes. So guys, go to Hear the Hope Heroes. hearthehopeheroes.org/featured song and go get your copy today. And then we want to report back on how it made you feel.
The other thing so funny is like I sing the song, I sing your song, and yes. I don't like my voice. So I'm singing the song going, wow, this is a really cool song. How come there's such a crappy voice on it? But I couldn't find anybody else to sing it. And so I'm like, God, I guess I'm supposed to sing it. So that's the paradox, the musician and the artist, fighting together, because I'm listening to all the slight imperfections, and you're not.
I told you that you didn't want me to sing it because I am like cat scratch fever. And then you said, well, you have an app that could mellow me out. Yeah. And I'm just like, and I don't know. I think I don't know how that came about, but anyways, we never were able to connect. But that's okay. Maybe in a future project. Yeah. One never knows. So I will connect you. We've had over 30 veterans on our show, so I can start connecting. And I'm sure maybe Dr. J has already given you a list of some of them. because she's the one that's helped me get them on our show. So definitely, but any of the ones, I'll just send you names. And if you haven't connected with them already, then I will connect you with them.
Great. Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So 2 wishes granted. So I've got you a artist that can help you with your album cover, and we'll get you more veterans.
You love it.
Love it. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring Vicki and Kimberly to this, you know what this is, the screen, whatever. I am like, I am like really perplexed. Not perplexed, but I don't know. It's different tonight, on maybe because it's our 100th, but I'm excited. And so now what we normally do, Toby, is the fundamental section, and I'm going to let Kimberly take over, and she can go into this.
Hi, everybody. It's so good to be here again. Like, and fun to be here in the normal spot, right? As opposed to the filler in the beginning tonight. So good. So good. Totally celebrating our 100th episode. Yay. Right? So good. So good. And Toby, I'm super excited to connect with you and just love everything that you're out doing in the world. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Yeah.
We'll have fun, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's a given. That's a given. I am very excited to have Vicki Parker on with us during the fundamentals tonight. Vicki is our sponsor tonight. Vicki is a multiple business owner, so I am spotlighting her on whatever she wants to spotlight tonight. So Vicki, what would you like to, one of your many amazing products and services would you like to spotlight tonight?
Oh, thank you so much, Kimberly. First of all, thank you. Congratulations, Dorothy and Kimberly, and on your 100th episode. It's an honor and a privilege to be here. Toby, I've heard so much about you, and I got a sneak preview of the song this weekend, and it's fantastic. And I just went back to it and listened to it while you guys were on, and really great work. It's so beautiful and so moving. And Dorothy, congratulations, rock star.
Thanks.
So awesome. So yes, thank you for having me here tonight. I do have multiple businesses. The one that I have one new endeavor that's about to happen that I'll briefly mention, but the one area that really lights me up is being a contribution. And so I have it that everything that I do is a contribution in some way, shape, or form. But the one that most lights me up is called Bank. And it's part of the coaching that I do. And it's one of the methodologies that I use. And I'm so excited about it because it can help in any realm. And Bank is basically a personality assessment. But it's different than some of the other personality assessments that are out there in that it allows you to really identify what will trigger someone to say yes or tripwire them to say no. And it allows you to see how that can impact your business and how it can impact your relationships. And we can do it in a very quick manner. So it takes literally 90 seconds or less. And we utilize cards. These are my bank cards. And the reason it's called Bank is because the woman who created this was in financial services, and she wanted to know more about her customers and how she could actually get them to say yes. And so she could take it to the bank. And so it's a play on all of that. And she created it for herself. And then she got to see that it can impact the world. And so the mission is to connect and empower all of humanity. And that alone gives me goosebumps. I mean, glory bumps, right? Everywhere.
Thank you.
Yeah, because it makes such a difference for people. And so there are 4 different cards, and you are more than welcome to anyone watching or listening can go to crackmycode.com/Vicki. It's VICKI. And you can crack your code. And so what you'll want to do is just read the values that are on each card. And all of the cards have different values, and we all share all of those values. And we put them in different orders based on who we are. There we go. Let's get that one the right way. And the 4 different value sets are identified as blueprint. It's a blue card. Cool. A little bit less. This personality type tends to take fewer risks than some of the others, tends to be cool, and tends to be interested mostly in systems, structures, processes like that. The next one is action. Action types like freedom, flexibility, spontaneity. They like to be the center of attention, and they really think outside of the box. They tend to be movers and shakers and millionaire makers. They like to move and groove and rock very quickly. And then the third one is nurturing. Nurturing personality types want everyone to win. They are madly in love with harmony and creating community and teamwork. You can see I'm wearing gold, and you can see my code is in the name distinction, which is nurturing first, and then action. And then the last code, which is my third code, is knowledge. And knowledge types like to create things. They are researchers. They like to develop things. They are very interested in logic and accuracy. And so when you think of like thinking inside the box, blueprints think inside the box, action types think outside the box, nurturing types recycle the box, and knowledge types create the box. So it's an awesome system. I know it's so funny, right? But it's fun. It's so fun to play with and to get to know. And so nurturing action knowledge blueprint is my code. And I invite all of you to crack your code, identify it. And for anyone watching or listening, when you crack your code, I'll send you a free report. And it'll share with you what triggers you to say yes and what tripwires you to say no. Now, you are also, if you do choose to do this, this is the 100th show of Unstoppable Overcomers. So I told Dorothy I'd be happy to give everyone the free report. It's a $99 value, and also a 20-minute consultation with me to say, hey, what does this mean? And how can I use this to deepen my relationships, either in business or with your family? And then I invite you to also have your loved ones crack their code and then print the reports and share the reports. And then when we have our 20-minute consultation, I'll tell you how you can use those reports to really connect and get related with your family. And so that is something that I am super excited about. I do coaching, I do training. I also go into businesses and help them identify where there are gaps in communication and how to overcome those gaps, or how to better connect with their customers in a very quick, easy way. So, beautiful. And I can best be reached at my website, which is Vicki, VICKI, ParkerUnlimited.com. So, or bank on Vicki.
Whichever they prefer. Yeah, that's so great. Thank you, Vicki. And thank you for all that you do in the world. We absolutely adore you. You are not only a sponsor of the show, but you're also a loyal and faithful fan. So we love you very, very much. And thank you for that. So with that now in play, Toby and Vicki, what are your 3 fundamentals? Who would like to go first?
I'll go first. So my 3 fundamentals for living a life of joy and love and being fulfilled moment by moment by moment are bring excitement. I bring excitement wherever I go, and I get excited about what's happening. But the first thing I have to do is just be present. And so finding a sense of calm, being present to the conversation, the communication, and that allows me to bring excitement for what comes up. And then exhilaration, right? Like not only get excited, but be exhilarated. Being exhilarated is so fun. Dorothy is such a perfect example of exhilaration. Like every time you see her, she's glowing and she always has great things. She's exhilarated. And those are my 3 fundamentals. Be present, be excited, and be exhilarated.
Beautiful, Vicki. Gorgeous. Toby?
Well, geez, I totally forgot about fundamentals. But
it's okay.
You know, my life, my fundamental, I guess my value would be freedom, fun, and passion. And if you know, the thing that I see when I work with people, whether it's sound therapy, developing a soundtrack for them, or whether it's I do some forms of divination that I learned in West Africa, and people come to me to get clarity on things, and helping people build clarity and confidence. Almost all of the time, they're somewhere in their life they have eliminated freedom and fun, and that's how they got stuck. And when we can reignite that in people, it changes everything. You know, when a fire hits a tree in a forest, you have a big growth of energy. And it's the same way with, you know, lighting the passion and the fire within your heart. All of a sudden, there's no limitations. It's only creativity and how you can overcome the obstacles rather than be overcome by them. So
beautiful. Right? I know, Vic. Yeah. I knew you were going to hold back on that one.
Well, Toby, I resonate so much with your story. I have a dance background and I dance to the djembe drum. And I've actually gotten to play some rhythms with a lot of the Detroit drummers when I was dancing in Detroit. And the story that you were sharing about sound healing, I have a very good friend who I'd love to connect you with, Sylvia, and both Dorothy and Kimberly. Kimberly's met Sylvia in person, but she does sound healing, and it's significantly different than the drumming, but she's also a drummer. So I'd love to connect the two of you.
That's cool.
Yeah, and you just tonight have made me smile so much. And I actually see how, because I'm reignited to my passion, which is dance and movement, and inside of this conversation, like, right? Like there is that freedom that you're talking about, Toby.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. It's so exciting. And one thing I wanted to say about Bank is I would love to see how different personality types drum. I was like thinking, how could that be used, right?
Yeah, it's the system that I work with is a 5-element system, and each element we're born into an elemental construct based on the year that we're born. It doesn't have to do with the stars or the planets, but it's very interesting. People who carry fire, water, earth, mineral, or nature all have different characteristics, and I can almost tell what their birth element is when they come to a drum circle and I see their participation.
Wow.
Super cool.
Mine is heavy metal.
Yeah, cool.
No, really, that's my element.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's, I'd be curious to see if my drumming was reflected in my heavy metalness.
Probably, I'm guessing.
Beautiful. All right. Well, we want to give the show back to Dorothy because we know she has a special ending segment of the show. So thank you both. Your fundamentals aren't only complementary. I could actually hear how they laid literally on top of each other, right? I could actually hear their matches to one another in your sharing, but it was really beautiful. Thank you both. And as always, Dorothy, not only on our 100th episode, but all the episodes to come, it is my distinct privilege and pleasure to represent the fundamentals on your show. Thank you. And back to you.
Wow, you guys, this has just been such a great night. And thank you for bringing the fundamentals to to this show, because usually it's a deep dive where we get completely people end up leaving crying, but we leave them empowered with and having fun, because life is all about having fun. So that's why we decided to add the fundamental section of the show about a year ago, and it's a year and a couple months ago, and it has made a difference. That is for sure. So for those of you that are either just tuning in now or forgot, Vicki has graciously given everybody a free gift, and that is go to www.crackmycode.com/Vicki, and she will give you your free report, which is a $99 value. So for all of you that are listening right now, that is on our 100th episode, you get this for free. So thank you so much, Vicki, for your generous offer. If you are a veteran, or if you know a veteran and that would love to share their story through song, let us know, and we will connect you with Toby, because that is, to me, that's a gift that keeps on giving. You know, and it's truly a gift. And Toby, thank you so much for making my dream come true. Like I said, one I didn't even realize that I had, and then now that I can say I am a songwriter on top of everything else that I do, I mean, that is just like freaking amazing. So thank you for making that dream come true.
My pleasure.
And as well, Freedom Global Group, which is Kimberly's other business. Anybody who connects with us tonight, after this, during the show, after the show, whatever, you can, within how long do they have to connect?
I mean, as long as they join your the show's mailing list.
Okay.
I'd say we could say by Friday at 5 p.m.
Okay, perfect. And in order to do that, guys, all you have to do is just go to www.unstoppableovercomers.com and simply put your name and that email address in there. And she's going to give out 20-minute financial freedom consultations. So anybody who does that between now and Friday at noon, I know there's some people that's already signed up. So definitely, then what we'll do is we'll do a draw on Friday. We'll extend it. There have been some people that have joined up, but for those of you, we'll give you a little bit of extra time because we're being generous this week. And like I said, that's www.unstoppableovercomers.com. Just subscribe to our website, get your name into our mailing list. I promise you, I'm not going to email you every day with every little thing, but we just want to keep in contact with you, see how we can help you, and definitely share with you about the show and the upcoming events that we do have, because we do have a lot of events that we're part of. We just came back from Arizona and helped with the Sold Out Youth Foundation. And if we've helped the veterans for over a year now. And, I can't wait to see what our next big project's going to be. Because we're always into projects, right? And so Friday, we'll also do a draw. Kimberly and Vicki have graciously said, okay, well, we'll give one of their Kimberly's in this book and Vicki's in this book. So we'll give away a copy of each of the books too. We'll do that Friday as well. So, and
I would love to give a set of the cards away too.
Well, so perfect.
On Friday, when you have that drawing, just pull someone for a set of the bank cards, and I will be happy to mail those out.
Perfect. So. And I also have a copy of our mutual friend Jen Zahari's book, Created No Way Out, which is an amazing book about this woman's journey about her last day, or what's supposed to be her last day on Earth. And I'm not going to give away the ending, but it is an amazing book that I can put down. All 3 books have been amazing. So we'll give a copy of that away because I have a couple extra copies. So since we're celebrating, we'll celebrate with you and we'll give those away. So all that we'll do that on, we'll give give that away on Friday. Maybe we might do a special episode when I get home from my day job. Who knows? Just a quick 15 minutes to do that, draw names, and we'll do that. And Toby, where's the best place that people could reach you and get your information out there too? Because we want to make sure that we have your information out there.
A giant revamp of all my websites and condensing them. I'm throwing out about 90% of my stuff that accumulated over the years. And but Christensen.com is the best way to get a hold of me. And there's a little contact menu that you can click on, shoot me in, or just Toby at tobychris.com is in my email. So feel
okay. Perfect. I will put that in the show note. It's in the show. Your website is in the show notes, and I'm going to put your email address right in the right in here as well. Sorry, typing it out and speaking as I type. So definitely, yeah, connect with Toby. If you want to make your dreams come true. And again, this is awesome. Each time I go to hit enter, it doesn't go. There we go. It's up now. Now it's up probably 4 times. Love it. Yes.
Where can they go to get the song? Can you put that up again too, so that people can donate for the song and help Toby?
Yes, absolutely. So go to hearthehopeheroes.org/featured-song/. So yes, go make a donation, get the entire, because the song is more than 36 seconds, guys. It's like, I think almost close to 4 minutes. So get your copy of the entire song. Let us know what you think of it. And we want to hear from you, and definitely help our heroes get the help they need by donating to get the song. Thank you for that. Absolutely. All right. And I just want to say thank you. Actually, I want to give one more opportunity for each Vicky and Toby to say any last things that are coming up for them, anything that and anything that you want to leave anybody with.
Go ahead, Vicky.
Thanks, Toby. So there are so many people who are hurting in this world, and many of them are our veterans. And I love the work that the 3 of you have been doing to support veterans, and for anyone who is struggling from any type of trauma. Please continue to show up here for Unstoppable Overcomers. This is not the only scope and reach that Dorothy and Kimberly have been out to, where they've been out to cause a difference in the world, but I acknowledge the 2 of you for all the work you've been doing and the dramatic differences it's made. And, you know, I also love the work you're doing with Winter Haven 2222. And I haven't seen anything about that tonight. So I will say, please think about those people who are providing us with those freedoms that we all have, and give and give generously. And thank you for being here and joining this show. And if I can do anything to support any of you or anyone who comes to this show, please feel free to reach out to me as well. And that's what I have to leave you with.
Thank you, Vicky. And Toby, is there anything that you want to leave our viewers with?
I'm just really grateful to be here with all you guys tonight. There's a lot going on in my life right now, and this was just an absolute joy that I really needed to connect with. You know, we all, even in our joy and our success and our fun songs and our whatever, we still have human life stuff that goes on. And this was really a delight that helped shift up some energy that's been very heavy on me for a while. And so thank you all very much. And, you know, music, there's magic healing in music. And if anybody out there wants to do a song, if you're on this podcast, you're a veteran supporter. So, you know, we don't have a strict criteria that you have to be a veteran. If you're a veteran supporter, we want you on and we want to hear your story. Yeah. and, you know, get in touch with me and let's make some music together.
I'm going to give a shout out to our friends, because not only do we support Camaraderie Rescue Mission with Heroes, Badges, and Warriors, but there is two organizations out there that I want to also give a shout out to for veterans, and that is Angels 14, my friends Jeff, Vaughn, and Dave. Amazing people that have a Zoom call every Friday at noon to give camaraderie, support, and whatever our veterans need. So you either a veteran or an ally can join this call. And if you're interested in that, definitely let me know and I can get you connected into there for those of you that are listening. But I really want to give out a shout out to them, because every veteran that I come across is like my brother or sister. But Dave has been, or Jeffrey has been like a big brother to me, and it's like we both look up to each other, and a lot going on there. So I'm gonna actually connect with Jeffrey after the show too, and connect you guys, because that guy's just simply amazing. And we want to give a shout out to Carrie Stewart, who is another veteran of ours that is a yoga master. Very, very much an amazing guy. Was in the Gulf War. And I'm sure he could do a song for sure. But such an amazing guy, and always, like, if we need anything, Carrie's always there. So I just wanted to give a shout out to those. Carrie's also part of Warriors Ascent as well. And he is the yoga program master for that program. But these guys are out there still helping after giving, putting their life out on the line. And now they're not in active duty anymore, but they're still out there strongly in our community. So huge shout out to those two organizations, and which I will definitely be connecting with Toby sometime this week, because amazing people, as Carrie would say, amazing. And that's how I got that. So yes. So, and thank you, Vicki, so much for your generosity and for being here on the show. You're always a huge supporter. And Toby, thank you so much for coming on, sharing your story. And if there's anything that we can do for you, let us know. And I will keep you connected with veterans, and I'm going to connect Jessica with you after the show as well, because I feel that there's a couple things there that you guys could work with. So I love that.
Great. Thank you.
Absolutely. And thank you to all of our guests that have shown up huge in the comments, and, the ones that are watching on the replay. And our amazing friend Derek has joined us too tonight. So thank you for joining us, Derek. Another amazing guy. And just really the love and support. We couldn't continue to do this show without our guests showing up and being a part of this. So we thank you. So here's to 100, and can't wait for the next 100. So, yeah. So be unstoppable in all that you do, and bye for now. And we'll see you next week. Take care, guys.